Is it just a play to them? It's just a high school fucking class where they just all get together with their friends. Fuck you, Kenny Omega.
Good point.
You know what?
Fuck him.
This is good. You
Kenny doucheface Olivier. What the fuck?
Working already.
First of all, fuck you, Kenny Omega. He's a fucking simpering, prissy prancing, finger pointing, jazz handsing, face making. Fuck you, Kenny Omega. Silly fuck. What else could be wrong with this guy? Fucking obnoxious video game playing putts. Has no idea how to fight. His fights look like shit because he's apparently never been in one. Fuck. Well, there's a fucking hero. No, he's a fucking twit. He likes to play video games. He's a fucking piece of shit. In addition to being a business exposing fucking prick. The greatest wrestler in the world, some people call him. For fuck's sake. Ric Flair. Steve Austin. Fucking Kenny Omega. Jesus H. Christ. Fuck you, you fucking long-haired, fucking head-shaking piece of shit. God damn. Fuck you, Kenny Omega. Give Omega a chance. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fuck you, Kenny Omega. I don't get. No, you know, fuck him.
Nope.
Maybe he should be a ballet dancer. He's got a wonderful physique. Fuck him. I don't like that whiny voice.
And I know that's just Jim being creative and sounding
I
funny.
think he's an insufferable, pretentious douchebag twat and a sissy.
I know he doesn't mean it.
I don't like those goofy facial expressions. And did I mention? Fuck him. He shouldn't have got this fucking far to be giving these chances because he wrestled blow-up dolls. Jesus.
Be the guy that said I should die because of that match.
His sissy demeanor, his fucking bland personality that's fixated on Japanese schoolgirls. I know the Japanese schoolgirl porn is a thing.
The kid wasn't on
Hey, dog.
Where grown men pouring baby oil all over themselves is a fetish in Japan. But if Olivier likes it, it has to be. No man wants to be like him. And does he still live in his parents' basement? What man wants to be Kenny Omega? Has he ever had fucking sex? Is he one of these virgins that we know? I ain't gonna get him. I don't want to get him. Fuck you, Kenny Omega. Self-indulgent, phony, silly, stupid, embarrassing.
I'm waiting for it to tell me where the hint is, because it normally does whenever I roam around and shit.
Garbage? 'Cause you know he's the cleaner. This was worse than the one-legged man. And he used to have a broom in Japan's prissy prancy, fancy dancing, finger pointing, Harpo Marx looking piece of shit. Fuck you, Kenny Omega. Like a fucking simpering twit. This fucking abortion. Olivier's still posing and making faces, dropping down to his knees and pointing up in a goddamn bar fight. What the fuck are they doing? With mousetraps, now with mousetraps, but he's still making poses and faces. Why won't this end? Then to put the icing on this cake of shit, he made a face like his butt just fell out.
No, that's great. Like, I know you don't hate me.
I'm ashamed of wrestling right now.
Right, if you do hate me, then
It was phony, it was disgusting, it was stupid.
you must have a problem.
See, I knew it was coming.
Prancing around like
It, it normally does that whenever I roam around and shit, and it thinks I'm lost. It's like, oh, here's a hint where you're supposed to go.
Folks, I don't give a fuck whether Kenny Omega discovers a cure for fucking cancer. He had a fucking match.
Good for you. I'm not done exploring yet. God, give me a minute. Shit.
This business, he deserved to have been blackballed and had his ass fucking kicked by anybody who had a lick of goddamn respect for this fucking profession. Kenny Omega can suck my big fat white fucking dick. Fuck you, you fucking long-haired fucking head-shaking piece of shit.
Well, I didn't even know you guys had heat. I just, this is news to me, so. Oh, no, I don't think there is. I don't think there is at all.
Fuck you, Kenny Omega. Okay, I got an email, but this is a very interesting observation by a member of the Cult Cornet, John, who writes, "Hello, Jim. I was just listening to your recent comments about the Young Bucks acting all edgy and being in a
Oh, there's
dark
something. Oh,
place
I didn't even
super
see this
kicking
spot.
everybody because they are sad. And I had a realization. I think the best comparison for these new, darker, and edgier Young Bucks is comparing their current behavior to Professor Chaos' attempts at evil in South Park. But unlike Professor Chaos, both the AEW roster and its audience are supposed to take the Bucks' attempts at being mad and edgy completely serious. Or serial. Like you, Mr. Cornette, I just cannot take two grown men who look like middle school children seriously. I'm gonna debate you on the grown men part, John.
Upset ahead.
Especially when they're clearly having temper tantrums. I think Professor Chaos is a perfect analogy for the current young bucks, and I'd love to hear if you agree or disagree. Also, happy birthday. What do you think, Brian? Who is more evil and sinister and strikes more fear in the hearts of people? The edgy and dark place young bucks?
Oh, no. Jesus.
His alter ego of Professor Chaos.
Too easy.
There's a few things to say. One is, I think the Bucks are better as heels, although the way it's being done is a bit silly.
I'm over here trying to explore just to see if there's anything extra over here. I just want to give me dialogue prompts. It's like, come on, bro. Give me a second.
Oh, come on. You've never actually followed the attempts of Professor Chaos to strike fear into the hearts of all of the citizens of South Park by creating chaos, such as going into a restaurant and ordering things and then walking out? Or what? Making prank phone calls? I mean, he literally, anarchy rules in South Park whenever Professor Chaos is around. So when we did this segment a few episodes ago and you started saying super cereal, this is where it's from? This is also from another episode of South Park. Okay. Because that's when Al Gore had to be convinced to come in and help the citizens of South Park by the boys because they were being persecuted and terrorized by Man Bear Pig. And Al Gore had been the only one to years ago that Man Bear Pig was real.
See, I hate that because I got this hammer
so he had to be apologized to and talked
synced to, you suck.
In the Man Bear Pig threat, because he had always been super serial about Man Bear Pig. Here's the question, John. I propose this theory to you: could either of the Young Bucks actually whip Butters in a fight? And I don't know whether I would compare Professor Chaos to the Young Bucks in their current incarnation now, because Professor Chaos is somewhat entertaining. I think we could possibly draw a better comparison to the Young Bucks and the Coon. Because the Coon was not only a totally ineffectual superhero, but one that nobody cared was around, didn't really pay any attention to, and got his thunder stolen by another kid, Craig, who was doing his own superhero bit. So I think the Coon. Did you ever see the Coon trilogy, Brian? I have no idea what you're talking about. Cartman was the Coon. He had raccoon claws and a raccoon mask, and he was the Coon, and he would just scratch you with those fingernails or with those raccoon nails as his superpower. But nobody liked the Coon. What about wacky races? Can we turn this show into wacky races, you think? I think that could work. Could maybe Brody Lee could be Dick Dastardly, and they could finally find a place for the fucking dwarf. Stunt, he could be Muttley. He's the same size. Did you like the Cannonball Run? Cannonball, but that was live action. Yeah, but it's in the milieu of wacky races. Well, yeah, but wacky races, they're not serious enough to be Cannonball Run. We've got to have something around here. I think they should do, especially after the parking lot fight that we'll talk about later on. They should get all those cars and do wacky races. And this could get greenlit right away because Brandy could be Penelope Pitstop.
Still no sign of scars.
So right there, as long as there's a spot for Brandy, we can get that going. What were you going to ask me? What was Dom DeLuise's character in Cannonball Run? Was it Captain Chaos? Something like the yes. There's a lot of chaos going around. But yeah, I think that even more than South Park, I
wow.
think that there
Okay.
could be an AEW
I thought this was where it's supposed to go down. I guess
Put
not.
all those fucking guys in a bunch of
That's funny.
cars they had out in the parking lot, just send them across the fucking country, and whoever gets to San Diego first, or Amarillo by morning, or whatever, wins the wacky races. You want to bet on it, Brian?
Were you supposed to take that cable? I bet you're supposed to take a cable.
Bet on it? Could we bet who's going to win
Yep,
the
I knew it.
AEW
I
wacky
knew it.
races? I wonder if my bookie will help us out. Because after all, if you want to bet on something, you naturally go to my bookie. winning season has returned at MyBookie. That means doubling your first deposit.
I'm at the door.
Folks, you can sit up with your feet cropped up, or propped up, either one on the couch.
Come on, use your steroid muscles. Use your steroid muscles.
These epic bonuses, the craziest cross-sport wagers. Watch the live sports and bet the live sports all season long. The NFL has returned. Action-packed Sundays, huge cash prizes. You all can get in on the action that me and Brian Last have no idea about because we don't know how this shit works. But folks, if you go to mybookie.ag and use the promo code JCE, you can double your first deposit. New players get up to $1,000 in free play. It's designed to add more excitement to the sports you love and the games you bet. So you can bet with the best this NFL season for your chance to win big. Everybody's winning but us, Brian, because we... but then we went, after that, to Officer Barbrady and some really bad acting school students in the back who had found Matt Hardy laying on the ground selling his leg. And then Jericho and Sammy Hagar come in and take credit for it. And so that obviously took Matt Hardy out of helping his friend's private party in their match with Jericho and Hagar later on, and also was more phoniness and more bullshit. No, nobody would ever believe that those guys that were standing over Matt Hardy were really upset and that they meant what they said. Not the announcer, not the guys that found him. No, why do we... Matt Hardy did a great promo where he said he was going to, after nearly getting killed and having brain damage, he was going to take some time off and get healthy. And he's at every show since, but this was the only time we saw him. Was it that important that they have to do something else phony to lay Matt Hardy out and nobody believes it? Or just say, well, Private Party's going to go without the advice of Matt Hardy because he's off selling a fucking concussion.
I will say this.
Didn't do anything.
I disagree with you a little bit on that. Private Party were the least of the problems in this segment. Alex Marvez can make anything seem phony. He is so unnatural, and he's not good on camera. And just the words that come out of his mouth seem contrived.
Yeah.
After you said it last time, I rewatched that Young Bucks super kicking thing over and over and over. Where he just grips the microphone. He goes down holding the microphone.
He didn't even go down and take a bump. He just leaned backwards over off camera.
Holding the
microphone the whole time.
Tight as he can the whole time. He's really, really bad on there. They've had other people do that role. Assuming that someone else can get to Jacksonville, even with the pandemic, have Dasha do it. She's great on camera. She knows how to not seem disingenuous. Alex Marvez.
No, don't go that shit.
You want to talk about a black hole of charisma? He puts Brody Lee to shame. That's all I wanted to say about that.
Alrighty, well, we continue on with the next match is going to have a special guest color commentator, Kenny Olivier. Twinkle Toes McFingerbang himself joined the announce team, apparently to give a feminine perspective on the situation. I'm not talking about his sexual preferences in any way. I'm talking about the fact that he has a woman's voice, a woman's haircut. He looks like an old washwoman. And he brings the same level of excitement as an old washwoman would to this commentary about his on-again, off-again relationship with Adam Page. And like anybody could give a shit. Because the match was Kazarian against Page. Frankie Kazarian has hair again. He looks 15 years younger, thank God. I hate guys that are bald-headed on purpose. I noted that Olivier stuttered and lisped and stammered in an unconvincing and completely unintimidating
Of course the
manner.
door's locked.
He sounds like he's also 14 years old. This match was once again, of the only well-trained and good-looking athletes that are veterans on the roster, and the match was fine. There are once again, no clear babyface in the middle here, so they just went back and forth, but this is AEW, so we're lucky that both guys are actually grown adult graduates of a wrestling school, but still, they're good athletes. They did some good shit. It showed to me that Page could have gotten over and been a top singles guy by being booked like a proper wrestler from the start instead of being saddled with a ballet dancer for a partner.
I don't think I ever get in that room.
Grade school drama class booking and being portrayed as an irresponsible, fucking depressed drunk. Which has always gotten everybody over that's gotten that gimmick. I don't, you know. But
Yeah.
Anyway,
Trying to rush me again.
basically, that's it started going a bit long. They need more talent so they don't have to have these long matches every fucking time. And I hear people that they're apologists, and even Uncle Dave said, well, they have so much talent they can't get it all on television. They sure could if every match wasn't 20 minutes in apparently 100-degree heat and humidity in Florida.
Nah, screw it.
Until the viewer is going, would you please just go home? They've got a 2-hour show. They could get all this talent on if they had a clue how to do it and any restraint. I noted Olivier speaking now with the tone and excitement of a man on Xanax and helium at the same time. I asked the question, will they go home?
I'll hold it here.
The only thing worse than a 20-minute cold match, and a cold match is a match that has no real angle or issue or
Crank broke.
grudge or whatever behind it. Just book 2 guys. This guy versus this guy. The only thing worse than a cold match for 20 minutes is a 20-minute cold match between baby faces. Page 1 with a hell of a looking buckshot lariat.
To ride with us?
It was good and then long. And then, you know, Page 1, but he could have beat a heel, for fuck's sake, except are they trying to make him a heel because he's an irresponsible drunk? But if he's the heel, then you'd have to take the side of the fucking lisping Harpo Marx look-alike, who then limped off in his fucking t-shirt, sloppy shorts, and shoes. Everybody here dresses like they live under an overpass.
I just wish
There will be no reunion. Tony Schiavone said, well, it was certainly very uncomfortable at times
Let's see if there's a way to the house.
between Olivier and Paige. Yeah, it was uncomfortable for the fucking listeners.
Hey, Eddie.
And then Paige drank a beer, not in a cool way like Steve Austin, just in a sad, drunk way. Like, give me a fucking beer.
Okay, here we go.
That's what I saw there.
All right.
Did I miss anything?
You know, I thought it was
what's your
all
idea?
right. Like you said, it went really long. The problem for me with this match going this long, because they're both really talented guys, and their
What are you
work
doing?
together was all
Getting
right.
us out of here?
But it's a match
Okay,
where the
just
ending
go
was
slow.
not in question.
Yeah.
To go that long where you know who's going to
Go to
win,
the
you're
center
just
of
basically sitting there waiting for them to
Take your
win.
word for it.
Or you were waiting for, hopefully,
You probably
some
will
interaction.
steroided,
Well,
lady.
I don't even know if I would say hopefully, but you were waiting for some interaction with Olivier and Paige. That
Yes.
didn't happen.
He was
See-
horrible on commentary.
Oh, you think?
You were being too nice, I think. I think...
Watch, she opens up that
it
fucking
made
door.
people-
I
It
bet
made
you.
me care less about seeing them wrestle than I did before. And he was dressed the same way Tony Khan was.
I knew it.
Maybe they're swapping out clothes in the back.
Okay.
They dress from the same fucking Goodwill donation box. I don't
Let's
know.
see.
Good guys, match was way too long, finish was never in question. Omega should never be on commentary ever again.
Don't let him speak. Just don't let him speak. Even Harley's sitting here
Well,
going, it was horrible, horrible.
What's up here? You want me to go up here so badly?
They had another episode of the Wednesday Night Wars
No way out
on
from here.
September 16th, the day before my birthday.
Hey, another coin. We got Ohio.
And when last we left this
Ohio.
competition, I had said that the NXT show last week was probably my favorite wrestling program from any company that I'd seen over the past at least few months. Did I not?
I think
It was pretty, I liked it. It was great. They did a good job. I gave them the clap.
You did.
I did.
You gave him the clap.
I gave them the clap. Well, I should have took it back. No, they can't do 2 in a row, I'll tell you that. But there were still some things here. But go ahead and browbeat me. The opening match was Shotzi Blackheart versus Io Shirai. And I
Training manuals
invoked
with
the
union
tank
upgrade
rule,
packages.
because while Rhea Ripley would trump the tank rule, Io Shirai does not. So I fast forwarded because of the tank.
No, you
And I'm waiting to hear you browbeat me as, oh, it was so great.
It was the opening match. You skipped the opening match on the show?
Yes, because it was Shotzi Blackheart driving a fucking tank to the ring, and it lasted 20 minutes.
Io Shirai is super talented. She's really good.
What'd you think of the match then?
Well, listen. I think it's important to note that I was running low on time.
Uh-huh.
So I fast forwarded to the ending of the this time.
Well, at least you had the excuse you were running low on time. No, I couldn't believe... Last week I loved the show so much, I turned this on and the first thing I see is Shotzi Blackheart coming out in a fucking tank. So
I wonder if they get
fast-forwarded
louder
to the
again.
finish. This thing went
Hello?
20 minutes, the first 20 minutes of the program. So once again, they're just handing, now that they're opposed. Last week, they had a great
you want
fucking
me to
show.
throw this
I
at?
think that week they weren't opposed.
I can
Now
see you're
they're
obviously want me to throw it
opposed,
somewhere.
and they hand off the first 20 minutes to the opposition. However, Io Shirai, your second coming of Mildred Burke, won with
I don't know where you want me to throw this at.
moonsault. I say attempted moonsault because it was really a backflip off the top rope into a double knee drop on poor old Shotzi, and looked like it could have killed her. Is that what you saw? Did you see the finish?
I saw the finish. I thought it was very spectacular.
Yeah, stiff. Anyway,
Not the stiffest match that a woman will have on the Wednesday Night Wars this week.
well, not on purpose, Italy, or by accident. Maybe by accident it
I
was the stiffest.
don't know where
Not
you
on
want me to
purpose.
shoot this at.
Anyway, they did a nice little package on Tommaso Ciampa with him watching the footage of him killing that fucking guy a week or two ago, and then he comes out against good old Desmond Troy.
And that's the spot to stick it at. I don't.
Tommaso Ciampa. I love the entrance. I love the outfit. I love the mask. I love the facials. I love the beard. I love the attitude when he takes the shit off. He
Throw
took
the
the guy
rope through the
down and
cap-
leaned
oh.
into everything. He sold the guy at the guy's level, which I'll explain in a second. We've talked about it before, but for the new listeners. But he sold the guy at the guy's level, and it got right back on him. And he was aggressive the whole time, and he dropped him with a DDT. Boom, 1, 2, 3, and it was perfect. Perfect. It wasn't the greatest match in the world. It wasn't supposed to be. It was a perfect match to get Tommaso Ciampa over, show he's aggressive, etc., etc., showcase him in a good way. And when I say he sold Desmond Troy at his level,
Nice.
how many times do you see a supposed main event star wrestle a guy that's obviously always booked in the middle of the card or at the opening of the card and doesn't really win, definitely loses more than he wins, but when that guy makes a comeback or even fires up or
Is it a
whatever,
long way down?
that
Is
main
it a
event
long way
guy's
down?
bumping like a fucking Super Bowl.
Oh, I was gonna do it. Let's find out. Ah!
We've talked about this before, whether it's a job
Oh, that's
guy,
messed
whether
up.
it's a talented worker that's being used underneath, or a more main event guy that's on your level. You sell three different ways. You sell at the guy's level, not at his talent level. He can be
Well,
the
that just
greatest
supposed to be
wrestler in
all the way
the
over
world,
here. Didn't want me to do that again.
but at the level that he has been promoted at in that environment. If you take big bumps for a fucking job guy, you're a goddamn idiot if you're a main event star.
There they are.
Because it's a job guy.
Manny,
Maybe the nicest guy in the
write
world,
down.
but he's presented as a
Look.
job guy.
Fob, sweet Fob.
Or conversely, what would happen? Would there be a fist fight if it was a main event guy you were working with and you decided you didn't want to sell at all?
Get off the roof. You mean this roof? Oh, let me do it.
At the guy's
You mean this
level
roof?
that the fans
You mean
perceive
this
him
roof?
at, that he's presented at, not at his talent. So,
These death
Tommaso,
animations are funny.
he'd sell, he'd
They
register,
shouldn't
he'd
be.
come right back. And then, at the end of the thing, Jake Atlas came out and did some white milk babyface promo as a challenge for next week because he hadn't had enough. And fucking this, every time I hear Jake Atlas speak, I want Tommaso to hurt him worse.
Freaked out about fucking it out.
But what do you think of Tommaso?
I like Tommaso. I'm curious to see where they're going to go with him. I mean, there's something later on in the show with him and Kyle O'Reilly. I'm curious to see where that'll go, but And kind of what you just said about selling to the other guy's level goes back to the Steve Beverly and Pedicino stuff, talking about
There's
Steve
nothing
shouldn't
up
be
here.
wrestling Barry Horowitz. And that made me think of Flair in there with George South. Nothing against Barry Horowitz and George South. Both really talented wrestlers. Unfortunately, because of the way they were used, it's a little ridiculous to have a 15-minute match on TV with them.
Yeah.
So I thought that was...
And also that's the thing when you go back and you watch, yes, if it was poor old Ron Rossi, bless him, looked like a baked potato with arms and legs, he wouldn't get any offense.
You get on the ground for it.
Tackle pancake. You beat Ron Rossi up and beat him. George South never won any more than Ron Rossi, but George South could work, and you could see it, and he was a good-looking athlete, so you would give him more. Flair gave him too much, but he loved working with him. But you'd give him more, but still, a main event guy, top guy, would be in control of the
I'm
situation.
gonna hide the boat. I'm gonna just hide right here in the
It wouldn't
boat.
be until you had a competitive main event matchup where there was doubt in people's mind on a television match, because you should never put
You're
doubt
drunk.
in people's mind that a preliminary wrestler is going to beat one of your main event guys on television unless you are in the middle of elevating that preliminary wrestler to main event status, and then it better be a good story. Anyway, Finn Balor, they did a sit-down package here. It was well done. He's well-spoken. He's convincing. I'm a little tired of dark and moody. I miss the guys just being able to come out and the fucking announcer having the microphone and the guy being able to cut a goddamn shit-talking promo. Let me tell you something, Mr. TV announcer, blah, blah, blah. But it's starting to, the sit-downs are starting to be the norm instead of the exception. Used to be the other way around. And that made the sit-downs stand out as a little more real and a little more legitimate. But now they're all done that way. And anyway, the next match was Austin Theory versus Kushida, and I completely took this match totally wrong.
Indiana.
And I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they need to rethink it. Austin Theory does a promo. He's very good. I got a smart-ass attitude and a slappable face, but he's a good-looking athlete. And that, okay, because remember, we've complimented him before. He was the human ping-pong ball for Bronson Reed. Did a great job. Pretty much stole the show. Okay, now he's got a promo, and then here comes Kushida. Well, we haven't seen Kushida in a while, and I figure, okay, they're bringing in Kushida to put old Austin Theory over because they see they've got something. Because Kushida, I made mention in my notes, is the second coming of Little
save.
Tokyo.
Oh, come on.
This fucking guy is not
No,
as tall
don't
as the
take that.
top rope. And whereas I loved Austin Theory's work against Bronson Reed from start to finish, this
there's
match
no
was
note.
awkward as fuck.
I'm about to
with
look
the
that
stuff
shit up. I don't
Kushida was
want to
doing
pass
until
up that.
Austin Theory took over.
Yeah, I
And
won't
then when
do
he
that.
took
I don't
over and he
want
was
to pass up
dictating
that
the
fucking
pace, it got good.
safe.
I don't know what's with Kushida's ring outfit. It looked like he was dressed as a recently furloughed house painter. And then it had a paint fight. I don't know what the fuck. He did awkward kicks for a comeback. They did a spot where Austin Theory hurt his arm on the post when he fucking missed a forearm, and Kushida gets him in the ring and double wrist locks him and he taps out. I thought Austin Theory was the star here, and Kushida was being used as a generic Japanese midget to put him over.
17:30.
And it's still, to me, what it looked like until Kushida won the match. Is somebody trying to tell me that they believe that there is a bigger upside in little itty bitty Kushida?
No.
Another Japanese guy with strange markings on his attire instead of Austin Theory.
Damn it, quit
Can
doing that.
talk, can cut a promo, good-looking athlete, young kid, already a natural in the ring. And what the fuck happened here? Can you explain this to me?
I can't explain it. I was certainly surprised by the finish. I agree with you that Austin Theory has a world of potential, and he's been pretty impressive the little we've seen of him. Kushida's a really talented professional wrestler. He's really, really good. He is
That's an ugly
smaller
fucking
guy,
gun.
Comparing him to Little Tokyo's a bit much.
Why don't
That
we
is
do
fucking
a thing
ugly.
Where he's one of the guys they have, like they used to put the ships in
That's
the
an
bottle?
ugly gun.
Why don't he join a wrestling crew where they have matches in a bottle? Because he'll be able to crawl in even a fucking 2-liter.
Like you said, I'm surprised by the finish. I think Kushida...
Proceed to another clip at home with the same faces. Mr. and Mrs. Same Face. And Mrs. Same Face now is blue-haired. It was gray, now it's blue, but it's not like a dark
Okay, we'll follow
blue,
the
like
tracks. That'll get
cool
us back on
blue.
the
It's
main
kind of
road.
like a light blue, like fucking Pepto-Bismol, the
Here's
Magic
open.
Clown blue. Anyway,
I can see.
so she's mad at her ex-friend for breaking their TV. And I just wrote, God, these segments are rotten. It's so fucking phony. It's
just you.
What the fuck? They're just reciting lines with blank stares. Nobody can believe this. I don't know what the fuck.
Oh,
You
they're
have
down that
anything to
way, I
say
guess.
about this before we move on?
I don't know why they're doing this. It's not good. And they keep going back to the Gargano household. It's not good. It's really not good. I don't know why they keep doing this.
In the words of Ole
Oh, I see
Anderson,
him. They're
when
way
he
down
closed
there.
the territory down in summer of '83, don't do this anymore. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I understand something like this.
Who's there?
I'm not
Who's seeing me
justifying
right
it, but I
now?
understand crap like this being on.
They're way down
He's
there. How can they
man for
fucking
his
see
show,
me?
Where he's hands
It
on.
makes no sense.
I don't know what this is doing on NXT.
No, I see this on a local television show because the audio's bad, the lighting is bad, because it really is their apartment. I don't know what. I don't see this on a big budget show. I see this on local indie wrestling. Anyway, the NXT Tag Team Championship was next, and here comes the new champions,
Okay, there they are.
Fan
That's
Dancer,
them now.
dressed as sexy policeman. Would you want either of these cops to give you a ticket, Brian?
What?
So Fan Dancer beat Imperium, the two German guys that aren't Walter. And this is the rematch, where Fan Dancer are defending against Imperium. And Fan Dancer comes out and does the entrance where they're dressed as the stripper cops, and I hate this gimmick so bad that the heels, Imperium, hit the ring hot. There was an exchange of fake punches that nobody meant, and then the baby faces immediately shit-canned the heels to the floor, and then they fucking started the match again. So that was just useless. And I gotta be honest here, at this point, this was going a while. These two teams look like any four fucking white guys on the indies. Fan Dancer has the goofiest entrance outside of AEW wrestling. These guys are all four better workers and in better shape than most of the AEW roster, but they're just fucking there. These guys are
Yeah, that
just
pipe bomb was
there.
pretty cool. I'm not
And
gonna lie. That pipe bomb was
during
pretty
this
cool.
match, Harley needed belly rubs. And I lost track of what the fuck was going on. So I looked
Damn it!
back when
Fucking you motherfucker.
I saw a backslap tag in there, and I didn't need any more reason to tune out, but they can't even try. They don't even fucking try anymore. But their finish was so complicated and went 100 miles an hour, I was trying to keep track of it, and I lost track again. But in the middle of it, one of the white guys caught another one of the white guys
when
coming
that-
off the top
the-
rope
the-
in a vertical suplex position. It was the bald-headed German that did it. And I've never seen that before, and he's not that big of a guy. He must be stout as fuck. And I started paying some more attention, and I've come to figure out that the bald German is great. It's just the babyface's gimmicks is so offensive, and the other German just looks like pudding compared to the rest of the NXT guys. That Tyler Breeze's up and overs are the worst I've ever seen. The absolute worst. Do you know what I'm saying by up and over?
No, explain.
When you're missing a clothesline, when the guy's gonna duck the clothesline.
Oh, yeah.
But when the guy ducks the clothesline, you swing your fucking arm so high that Andre the Giant wouldn't have hit the pin, or you still wouldn't have hit him, just to make sure you don't hit him. Worst I've ever seen on Tyler Breeze, up and over. Knock the fucking guy
You
out if
took
he
my
doesn't
kill, you
duck.
motherfucker.
Your hands
Hate
are
you.
clean if he was supposed to duck. That's what I told referee Carl Fergie to tell Dusty Dusty Rhodes in the Superdome the first time we worked with him because we weren't in the same locker room, heels and baby faces. I was supposed to swing the cane I had at the time because the racket was banned. I said, please, Carl, please tell Dusty to duck because I'm going to swing at his head. And he loved that. When I've actually talked to him the first time on the phone months later, he says, see, you the kid who's going to knock the dream out in the Superdome. Anyway,
Nothing here.
they foiled the heels finish and won, and the NXT Tag Team Championship belts look like shit if these guys are the champions. Because it's an obvious rehash of two guys that have been there forever, that both then they put in a male stripper gimmick, and it screams mid-card tag team popcorn match. And they have Fish and O'Reilly. They have other tag teams in NXT, and these guys are the champions, so they don't care any more about tag team wrestling in NXT than they do anywhere else in the fucking
That's pretty good.
WWE Empire. What'd you think?
It was alright. Like you said, the bald-headed guy in Imperium, I don't know who was who in Imperium. Marcel Marceau and
Marceau and Bartholomew J. Frog. I don't fucking
yeah, I don't know what their names are. But, you know, I will say this about Breezango. I almost called him Fandancer there. Fandango at least has a look. Tyler Breeze used to look different. Now he's kind of taken all of that away. He just looks like a bland little white guy. And I don't know, I just thought he looked so out of place just based on how he looked in there. He didn't look like a wrestler.
I will give you that Fandancer, if it wasn't for for Fandancer, now I'm doing Fandango. And see, that it's not like I could have fucking been into him till they gave him the shitty Fandancer gimmick, because it's the whole Fandango name and gimmick and etc. The guy's a good-looking athlete, and if he had been booked somehow differently to be more, I don't know, anything that you would take as a top guy, instead of, you know, I guess, was this an era when they were handing out more TL Hopper and the Goon gimmicks?
Let me tell you something. Fandango was involved in maybe my favorite stupid Raw angle of all time. It was Fandango, and he had some girl dancing with him. And he was confronting, I think,
Through here.
Lord Tenzai, which was Matt Bloom, A-Train.
Oh yeah, when he became Japanese.
And what was the name of the guy with the Funkadactyls? Brodus Clay.
Brodus Clay.
So he's confronting them, and Lord Tenzai keeps getting on the microphone. He's like, "Hey, Fandango!" And he would cut him off and go, "No, no, no. It's Fandango." Just he went back and forth doing this stupid thing over and over. And he just wanted to dance with Naomi. And this is all in front of the arena. It was so stupid. I remember watching this going, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen on television. I wish it wasn't on wrestling.
Is he foreign? He has the accent?
At that time, he was kind of, I just think he was a dancer, so naturally he sounded foreign. But I don't know what the reasoning was for the accent that he had at the time.
Maybe he just like Booker T. He'd come up with Booker T used to fucking try out different accents on TNA wrestling that he could use in his acting career that he was gonna have. And he'd just be talking, and I'd ask the other guy, Dutch or Jeff or anybody, why is he talking with an accent? First he became English because he was king, because all the kings were in King. And then he'd just have different accents. And wouldn't he'd be a Cockney? And then he'd be, you know, whatever I don't fucking know.
I like Madonna. Madonna, this girl from Detroit, all of a sudden she has a British accent. That's my favorite one.
Well, we getting on. Which one we getting on? I don't know.
Anyway,
Have you seen what she looks like lately?
I haven't checked. It's not my week to watch her. What does she look like?
It's like Waylon Flowers' hand should be up her ass. Who's next on this show?
Okay. If anybody had Waylon Flowers and Madam in the pop culture reference pool,
It's time to get on out of here,
you
boys.
officially cashed to go to MyBookie to collect your prize. Okay. The next match amongst this parade of terror, A girls tag match. Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter against Jessie Kania and Zia Lee. And that's when I wrote in capital letters, I swear to God, last week this was the best show from any company in months. Zia Lee is apparently, she's not a Japanese schoolgirl, she's a Chinese schoolgirl.
Is it Zia Lee or Zia Lee?
Zia Lee, I can't remember. It was XIA.
Squeeze this as hard as you can, okay?
Was it? Oh. Okay. I thought it was Zia.
That's the way it was pronounced on, or spelled on the goddamn
I didn't even feel it.
graphic is XIALI. Point is, I was extremely disappointed in Zia Lee, and I fucking fast forwarded. Zia Lee wasn't 5 feet tall. None of these girls were taller than the top rope except for Jessie Kania, and she looked like she was 6 feet fucking 5. And I've never heard of any of these people. Well, Carter and Catanzaro I've heard of slightly.
Yeah, she was on, she may have won even. I'm not sure. She was on American Ninja Warrior. You ever watch
Well, good for her. Every once in a while, only when, paralyzed or in an iron lung and unable to get to the remote did I watch that program. But, was there anything to this?
You know, I was stuck for time. Unfortunately, considering none of these women have been involved in a feud with the other women, and I kind of didn't care about the match, I fast-forwarded.
You are misogynistic.
Come on, girl.
You are a misogynistic person, Brylan. You eke out your living from marginalized peoples around the world
That is so unfair.
by shitting on them.
How dare you?
All right, well, coming up, I thought we were going to have a match here. Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong, and it doesn't have to be Fish and O'Reilly. It can be Fish and Strong. It can be Strong and O'Reilly. Any combination of these guys, I want to see them against Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. And we recalled it last week on the program. As you will recall, our Space Family Robinson was trapped. Killian Dane reluctantly helped Drake Maverick out and then punched him one punch and knocked him out. Because Drake, and then they've signed this tag match, but Killian Dane...
I get what Naughty Dog's trying to do here. They're trying to give you a reason to care for Abby, but
Drake Maverick,
I'm sorry, I don't.
This guy as a human being and as a person, and he can work. He was properly trained. He went to OVW. He's been around
No sympathy in the world can
He's
justify killing Joel. I'm sorry.
Drake
I like Joel.
Maverick is what Marco Stunt would be
Just says report to
if he was all those things. In shape, properly trained, not on meth, took care of his teeth, ate properly, went to school. His mother hadn't smoked or done heroin when she was pregnant.
Oh, come on.
Drake Maverick is all those things. And I like him as a person, and he's still too fucking small. It's just, I'm sorry. I have to be consistent and I have to be fair. And this kid can work. And I can see how they have put him into issues and things, and there's a place for him to be used, but as an actual
give me a second,
wrestler
damn.
on an ongoing basis, it's the visual, and I'm sorry.
Heard about your ambush.
And then they do the thing where Killian Dane refuses to come out.
Near the warehouse.
And so he goes 2 against 1 against Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish, this poor guy that's half the size of either one of them. He's going 2 on 1. Yes, you're creating sympathy for an underdog babyface, and you're also creating a lot of people going, what the fuck is this? Look, they're used to seeing grown kick-ass men, at least on WWE programming. Grown men, maybe not all of them. I don't think Tyler Breeze is a kick-ass guy, but the point is, it was lots of action, but they mostly beat Drake Maverick up, as it should have been, 2 against 1. But then it got ridiculous that he kept fighting back, and then they went through a break. And now, when they come back from the break on the other side,
Getting high with that pain
William
medicine.
Regal makes Killian
Wrong
Dane
with you,
go
bruh?
out.
You only need 3.
But so now, after not being able to put Drake Maverick away 2 against 1 in the previous 10 minutes, Strong and Fish are in there, and this, honestly, let's call a spade, this fat, hairy slob gets in and beats up both of the heels simultaneously after they haven't been able to put the guy...
Hey guys,
How you doing, Melon?
just a few more stitches and I'll be good as new.
You guys need to convince this girl to relax.
Hey, Mel. Relax. You got it.
Hey, I need some muscle, so can you two give me a hand or something?
Sure.
Don't move.
I'll just be here. Relaxing.
Chillaxing.
Have you had a chance to relax?
Ugh, I'm shipping out to the Westside Hospital in a few. Orders are to get everything.
How's Mel? Really?
Well, the baby's vitals were a little elevated, but I'm not worried.
Someone should get word to Owen. He'll want to be here for her.
Yeah. I need to show you guys something.
What is it?
Follow me.
Oh my god.
I guess I can't fucking use my flashlight right now.
And more coming in by the hour.
Yep, I guess this is story time. No flashlight for you.
You can't tell Mel, alright?
Nora.
Just not yet. Come here.
Who's in that body bag?
Owen, isn't it?
Holy shit.
Oh no.
Where's Owen?
I don't know. A few days back, there were some SCAR sightings out by the marina. Danny and Owen were sent on a sweep. And this morning, the guards found Danny collapsed by the perimeter fence.
Shit.
He'd walked himself back with a bullet in his stomach.
Pinches escars, hijos de puta.
Isaac talked with him until he passed, but as far as I can tell, there's no units going back that way.
So what about Owen? Did you ask Isaac what happened?
Yeah, I tried. But he gave me that fucking look, and then he told me to keep quiet about it. Which means you can't say shit.
Owen's a big boy. I'm sure he's fine.
Where is Isaac? I'll be discreet.
Last I heard, he was in the apartments.
Oh, I'm sure he was.
I'm gonna go check up on Mel, so let me know what you guys find out.
Yeah. Why the hell hasn't Isaac sent out a search party for Owen?
Maybe he has, and just didn't tell Nora.
I fucking hope so. We're looking for Isaac.
He's inside. Go on in. Thank you.
Damn, look who it is.
What's up, fellas?
Got time for a game?
Can't. Here for Isaac.
Whatever, big shot.
Not my fault I'm so good at what I do.
Mm-hmm.
See you around. I don't miss this place. Fuck. Always hated the smell.
Well, I missed my button prompt. That's, fuck you. Fuck you, game.
Hey, Abby.
We need to go up.
Isaac's in there.
Oh. Do you know if he'll be long?
Said to get him when you two arrive. Well. Sir, Abby and Manny are here.
Sir. Let me tell you, sir.
Don't let him fall asleep.
Yes, sir.
Let's go up.
two ran into some trouble?
No losses on our side. Just some minor injuries. Can't say the same for them.
Wish I was hearing more of that.
Never seen the base this packed.
Give it another day. Still waiting on some units.
What's going on, boss?
These small skirmishes. Can't keep going like this.
Then... what?
Could try another truce. How long before some asshole on their side or our side unravels the whole thing? No. It has to be all of them.
Sir, we'll try attacking their island.
Not like this. Not with everyone. There's a big storm a few days out. We're gonna use it to mask our approach. You two are gonna lead the first wave. Pick your squads, start prepping.
I want Owen. When are he and Danny getting back?
We'll talk, Nora. No secrets between the Salt Lake crew, huh?
Is Owen okay?
As far as I know.
Then why didn't you send a search party after him?
He shot Danny. Apparently to protect some scar.
It's bullshit.
Excuse me?
That's not Owen. You got it wrong.
You're saying Danny used his last breath to lie to me?
Sir, people hear that story. Owen's dead. Anyone who finds him, they'll gun him down for sport.
And I suggest you all stop gossiping about it.
Let me go after him. I'll walk him back in. We'll get to the
No.
bottom. You said yourself the storm's a few
No.
days.
We've only got one shot at this. And this is bigger than any of us. Definitely bigger than Owen. If he turns up, then fine. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And we'll get to the bottom of it. I need you, Abby. Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
He needs your steroided arms.
Look over the plans and go through your roster. Grab some food. We'll talk later.
No way Owen killed Danny over some scar, right? What? No. Abby, don't.
I'll be back by morning.
Owen's out there. How the hell are you going to find him?
I know where he'll go.
Stop it.
3 years.
I'm gonna kill you.
What?
Seriously, stop it.
All right. Why don't you come on over and enjoy this view with me then?
It's great. It's the best.
Oh. Come on. We made it all the way up here just so you could wimp out on the last 2 steps?
Yeah. Yes. Deal was to get up here, so.
See, this so far is the only thing I'm not liking about The Last of Us Part 2. Is them trying to force me into caring about this
Go
character.
down here on the kid seat. And look at this view with me.
We can't miss training.
Really? Not even just for one night?
No.
Talk about it?
It's getting late.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't. Do not. It is too high.
Oh my god.
That's when you just push him off. Say, fuck you.
I don't think I can live like this anymore, Abby.
Owen, I'm serious. I will break up with you. Owen.
I always loved you.
Don't! Owen!
Yeah, I'm stopping it right here. I don't know what it is. I mean, the gameplay is okay. The gameplay is okay. I mean, it's pretty much the same game as the first game. I mean, they touched up some things and changed some of the evolution mechanics with the weapons and whatnot, but I don't like that they're trying to force me into sympathizing with this character. I don't have anything against her. It's just, you killed Joel. Like, no amount of sympathy, no amount of backstory is going to make me like you anymore. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. I don't know.